some of the emotion we've seen through the first 17 picks here in Chicago. Mel, now you're bored.
You look at Malcolm Brown, still available. He right now is number 12 on the board, still available. Alvin Dupree, the pass rusher, Kentucky, plays really a versatile game on his feet, down defensive end. You can move him around, get a lot of versatility out of him. Rashad Perriman still available because he was dropped at Central Florida, or he would have been off the board. Shane Ray still available only because of the injury, then the off-the-field concern. And Philip Dorsett, I like. People compare him to T.Y. Hilton. He's a 4.28 to 4.33 flyer who averaged 24 yards a catch and has some kick return ability as well.
Well, that's your board of the Kansas City Chiefs, 9-7, and year 2 under Andy Reid. That's Shane Ray, who they certainly studied. He's from Missouri, obviously Kansas City's backyard. But for the Chiefs, this is a team that beat New England and beat Seattle, the 2 Super Bowl teams. But they lost to Tennessee and they lost to Oakland, and so that's why they didn't make the playoffs. They had, as everybody knows, no wide receiver scored a touchdown. They signed Jeremy Maclin, Andy Reid's old receiver at Philadelphia. Where do they go? Do they roll the dice a bit?
With the 18th pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Marcus Peters, defensive back, Washington.
Well, we asked, do they roll the dice a bit? And that would include several players. His situation, Morton Adam, he did not finish the season for Coach Peterson up at Washington, although we know that he is quite skilled. Fellas?
Oh, correct, Boom. This past season, he was kicked off the team for being late to meetings, for arguing with coaches. The Chiefs had some questions, and this week, Andy Reid and Chiefs officials conducted a secret mission to Oakland, where Marcus Peters has lived with Marshawn Lynch in the past, to visit with Peters to see if they could get some of the answers to those questions. Apparently, the Chiefs officials liked what they heard enough to take him tonight. And don't forget, the Chiefs could have Sean Smith, their other cornerback, facing a 2-game suspension, so they needed to upgrade that position.
And there are a couple other players who were projected first-rounders who had red flag character issues. One of them we just showed is Shane Ray, the Missouri defensive end, outside linebacker. He was arrested Monday morning and cited for a small possession of marijuana. He also has a toe injury. And then you have Randy Gregory, the linebacker, outside linebacker in Nebraska. Heck of a football player, but a guy who has a myriad of issues. And that's one that some people think could slip out of the first round. I think Adam thinks he'll still go in the first round. As far as Shane Ray goes, I talked to even a guy like Jerry Jones, the owner and general manager of the Cowboys. He says they've done their full work on these guys already. Nothing changed in their minds. And the feeling is that these guys, Ray especially, will go in that bottom third of the first round. Boom. Boom. Wait, we got one more. Boom.
I love when they both throw to me. I must be important. Meanwhile, so Marcus Peters, that will raise a few eyebrows. His skill level, Coach, I know you really like.
Well, he's the best corner in this draft, if you ask me, and it's not even close. He has 11 interceptions when he does play. He's going to the best locker room I think he can go to. Andy Reid, Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, and he's got Emmett Thomas, a Hall of Fame secondary coach. So, Marcus, you are one lucky man today. Tremendous ball skills. He has great playing instincts, Mel. He can key the quarterback. He has great range. He's a sudden sure tackler. Kansas City cannot get turnovers. That's the only thing they didn't do well on defense last year. This guy's a turnover machine.
I agree with you. Heck of a football player. If it wasn't for the off-the-field issues, he would have been a top 10 pick, or should say some on-the-field issues. But you think about the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, they drafted Dee Ford to go along with Justin Houston and Tom Bahali. Now you have Philip Gaines, a young developing corner out of Rice. You draft Marcus Peters. I think this organization is still stung by that Indianapolis Colt game from a few years ago when they gave up that big lead. They want to make sure that never happens again. They love Alex Smith, their quarterback. They can find wide receivers. And again, for the second straight year. Now, receiver didn't catch a touchdown pass, yet they went away from wide receiver and took another defensive player.
Yeah, here, you're right. Coach Gruden mentioned it. They couldn't produce any turnovers. They can't intercept the football, and that's one of the things that this kid can do better than anyone as far as high pointing the ball and defending against big receivers down the field because of the length that he has. As far as the way he plays the game, hey, I have some questions about whether or not he plays the game hard all the time, and I saw some instances now against the run where he looked less than interested. As far as the character is concerned, Coach Reed's going to have a plan for it. I'm sure he does. He's not afraid of dealing with players who have some character issues. He's going to have a good plan for them.
Well, the XO part of it is they have to overtake Peyton Manning. They're close. They haven't quite beaten Denver. They're nip and tuck with the Chargers. They knocked them out last year. They don't know if Eric Berry, lymphoma, we all think of him, well, he'll be back. They needed help there. They went. Cleveland next.